Hello guys, and welcome to Should I Play This? Today I'm going to take a look at the different weapons that are available for you to use in Elite Dangerous. So let's go to outfitting, and I'll start by detailing that there are 3 different weapon types that you can use. And the first one is fixed mount, and this burst laser, for example, is fixed mounted, and you can see that by looking at this icon here. It's a crosshair. And when it's a fixed mounted weapon, it means that it will only hit one spot, which is in your crosshairs. And depending on where you mount it, for example, if you put it in the top slots, it'll hit a different place than if you put it in the bottom slots. You can see that if I mouse over any one of my guns, I can see exactly which slot it is in. And that'll make a difference because it might hit below or a little bit over the crosshairs. So depending on where you want your weapons and where you want them to hit, you will put them in the correct slot. Let's go back in and look at the lasers here. This icon here means that this particular laser is gimballed, and what gimballed means is that the laser will move and auto-track your target as long as the target is in front of you, and that makes it a lot easier to hit. It also means that you're not very likely to waste as much ammunition not hitting as you are if you try and hit manually with these. If a turret is mounted in a fixed mount, it'll typically do more damage and require less power. So it's kind of a trade-off. If you're very good at aiming with a fixed mount laser, for example, you'll do more damage than you will with a gimballed laser. But it's a lot easier to use the gimballed laser. Also, if you're using a gimballed laser or a turreted laser, it can be disrupted by chaff, which means that the tracking won't work, and you will not hit the target if the target fires chaff. It's also reliant on the target's heat signature, that there is heat there. And the last kind of turret you have is the turreted gun, or pulse laser in this case. And this icon here is a little turret, and that means that it's an independent turret, and you can set an independent turret to fire at your target only, or fire at any ship that is firing at you with a wanted status, or you can set it to just fire as a fixed turret. That's up to you, but it's a completely independent gun, and it'll auto-track, and it'll have a 360-degree firing arc. So that's the 3 kind of different mounted turrets you can have. Let's go through all of the different guns. This is just a mining laser. It's not for combat. It's for shooting at an asteroid to break off little chips of minerals that you can pick up and refine and sell. This is a burst laser, and a burst laser fires 3 shots in one burst, meaning that it'll do more damage than a pulse laser. A pulse laser just fires 1 shot and waits a little bit and fires 1 shot again and waits a little bit and fires 1 shot. This fires 3 shots and waits a little bit and fires 3 shots more. And here's a multi-cannon, and this is a popular weapon. It's a little bit like a minigun. It fires a lot of projectiles, and it can carry a lot of ammo. As you can see here, the ammo clip size is 90, and the ammo maximum is 2100. So you're not going to have to go back and restock ammo quite as much as if you use some of the other projectile weapons. This is a torpedo pylon. It does a massive amount of damage, but you can only carry 1. You can see the ammo clip size is 1 and the maximum ammo is 1, so it's kind of like a one-trick pony. If you hit with this, it'll do a massive amount of damage, and you can even disable subsystems on anacondas and stuff like that. But if you miss, you're going to be very gimped, because this is quite heavy on your power draw and stuff like that. And also takes up a slot, obviously, you could have used for something else. But a torpedo will heat seek, so it will seek out your target and try and hit it. Of course, it can be shot down by a point defense turret, or it might get disrupted by some chaff or something like that. Here's a mine launcher, and what that does is it launches little mines, and they will explode if an enemy ship comes into proximity of the mine. And you can see you can carry 24, and there's a one in clip size, so you have to reload it after launching one. This is a fragment cannon. A fragment cannon is a little bit like a shotgun, actually. It'll do a lot of damage and be relatively easy to hit with in short range, but it's not going to be that effective at long range. And it carries a clip size of 3 and an ammo maximum of 30. A beam laser is a laser that fires continuously, and it will also hit immediately. When you press fire, it will hit the target immediately, and it will fire as long as you keep the fire button pressed down. It'll spend a lot of energy really quickly, and it also creates a lot of heat. As you can see, it does thermic damage. Thermic damage is good for shields. If you look at the fragment cannon, it does kinetic damage. Kinetic damage typically is good for armor penetration and hull and armor. A cannon is a little bit like an autocannon, except this is a high caliber gun, and it fires shots and has a little bit of a longer refire time. And this is only a 5 ammo clip size, so you can see you have to make these shots count, and you can only carry 100 rounds. But it does a good amount of damage. This particular one is gimbaled. A railgun does massive amount of damage, but it has a little bit of a charge-up time before it actually fires. And it can only be fixed mounted. You can't buy it gimbaled or turreted. So it requires some skill to use this weapon, and you can see it does both thermic and kinetic damage. It's a very good weapon, but it's relatively hard to use, and you can see the ammo clip size is 1 and the ammo maximum is 30. So you will spend some time restocking ammo if you use this in day-to-day play. And here we have a turreted burst laser, just this turreted icon again. Something else about weapons to note is that all laser weapons don't use ammo, so you don't have to go back and restock ammo if you use laser weapons. Laser weapons also generate more heat than, for example, multi-cannons or cannons or other projectile weapons does. If you generate too much heat, you will not be able to fire your gun. You have to dissipate the heat again, either by using a heat sink or just wait for the heat to come down before you can fire your gun, independent of the refire time. So now we found the plasma accelerator, and that's a really big gun, and as you can see, the prices start at 834,000, so it's an expensive gun, and it does thermic damage. And this can have an ammo clip size of 5 and an ammo maximum of 100, so it's also something that you have to be conservative with shooting. And this one generates a lot of heat, so every time you fire, you'll generate a lot of heat, so you'll probably overheat quite quickly if you're not doing well and hitting what you're supposed to and firing too many shots. It's a good weapon. It does massive amounts of damage. And these are the different kinds of weapons that you can get in this game. And I encourage you to try out all of them and find your favorite setup. There's also a little bit of a difference here, because if you're going to mostly be bounty hunting NPCs, then you're probably better off using weapons that don't require ammunition, so it doesn't eat away on your profits. Or you could do a combination, for example, 2 beam lasers and 2 multi-cannons, and you'd probably do them gimballed as well, so you don't waste ammo or not hitting. That's pretty good for NPCs, because it's very rare for an NPC to start throwing chaff out. But if you're going to play against other players in PvP combat, you might be better off picking some of these more skill-based weapons as fixed mount, so chaff won't affect them and disrupt them. And they also do massive damage. You might even go with a torpedo just to start out, to initiate the battle. There's a lot of options if you're playing against other players. There's more strategic options, and you're also not going to care about the ammo cost as much. You just want to win at all costs. So firing off expensive shots is the least of your worries if you're engaging in PvP. So I hope this helps a little bit about what's available in the weaponry of Elite Dangerous, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them shortly. And thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you found this information helpful. I'll catch you all next time. Bye.